Welcome back to another episode of World of Warships Legends. I am your captain for the day, Random Stegosaur. No, you are not seeing things. Yes, I am attempting to play a cruiser. So, for those of you that are expecting me to completely get blown out of the water, usually you'd be correct. I mean, it still happens this game, but, I survived longer than 20 seconds into the match. So, I mean, that's good, I guess. You know, it's better than how it usually goes for me. Those of you that watch my channel know that I've grown accustomed to playing battleships. I'm just used to being able to distracting the enemy, push aggressively, tank damage, etc., etc. Can't do that in a light cruiser, especially down here at glorious tier 5, but it's something I'm trying to learn. You know, I'm getting accustomed to adopting new playstyles with light and heavy cruisers. So that being said, speaking of light cruisers, this is the tier 5 Soviet light cruiser, the Budyonny. A little bit about the Budyonny. The torpedoes are pretty good. I lied. They're kind of shit. They're pretty quick with a speed of 65 knots, and you get 5 of them, one launcher on each side. But they only have a range of 4 kilometers. No, not 14. 4. But it makes up for that in the fact that it has great armor. Actually, no, I lied about that too. The armor's pretty trash. It's a tier 5 light cruiser, which means, it doesn't have any armor. It's literally just a citadel, some fuel, and some smokestacks. That's literally all tier 5 cruisers are. Everything below tier 5 and below. Arguably some of the tier 6 cruisers as well. The guns are pretty good. No, that one wasn't a lie. The guns are actually pretty good. You've got 3 turrets, each with 3 barrels. It comes base with, I believe, a 9% chance to set fire, or no, 12% chance to set fire, I believe. Now, of course, that's going to be halved if you equip the Equilibrium of Power, or Inertia Fuse High Explosive, for those of you out there who, like me, are coming from PC. I just think IFHE sounds cooler. Inertia Fuse High Explosive, IFHE, sounds cooler than EOP. It's pretty quick. It has a base top speed of 35 knots, can be increased with various commander skills and cruiser builds, but it has a turning circle that would give a battleship a run for its money. It does not like to move. 710 meters is, I think, its base turning circle radius. So, other than the guns and the speed, what's good about this cruiser? Well, as you can see by the consumables I have equipped, it is in fact a radar cruiser. It is the only radar cruiser that you can have as of right now at tier 5. I'm not running Equilibrium of Power, by the way. Because I was experimenting with different builds for this ship, and instead of running EOP, that increases the penetration of high explosive shells by 33%, I opted to run, I think it was fully packed, which gives you an extra consumable for all of your consumables, which means I get 3 charges of radar instead of 2. Why is that important? Well, like I said, this is the only radar cruiser at tier 5, so destroyers probably aren't going to be too used to going up against radar. But it's also important to know because I'm not going to be doing a lot of penetration damage on heavily armored targets, like all of those battleships down to the south. So I think I'm going to, blow through my second charge of radar here. I do not, that is not me spotting the Benson. The Benton is way too far away from me. The Benton spotted because he is getting into a gunfight with our friendly Benson. I am attempting to spot, I believe it is a Fubuki in the middle of the map, and I am failing miserably. Yes, it is a Fubuki. Okay. I was misjudging how close or how aggressive the Fubuki was being. I should have known that he was not within the radar range, because if he was in the radar range, then our friendly destroyer down to the south would have spotted him earlier. So even if I did spot him with radar, it would have been a waste of radar because he would have already been spotted. We're trying to finish the Fubuki off, and he is finished off by the Gneisenau of all ships. But anyway, back to the radar. It is your standard Soviet radar, short duration, 15 seconds, but it does have long range. Although the adjective long is kind of open to interpretation as the enemy Benson guns down the friendly Akatsuki. The adjective long is open to interpretation. Yes, Soviet radar is typically longer range than American and British radar, but when you're the only radar available, technically, I guess it's average range. Yeah. Even the Atlanta, the Tier 6 American light cruiser, has an 8.5 radar range of detection range. Budyonny gets 8.1 kilometers. So, average. But it will give Tier 6 cruisers a run for their money, like the Belfast, who has 9 kilometers of radar range, I think. I haven't played the Belfast in a while, so I might be wrong. But we are going to try and get behind island cover and see if we can start teeing off on this Gneisenau. We have to be weary of the south center, because there are 2 battleships that look like they might be pushing up here pretty soon, so we have to make sure we stay hidden from them while being able to continue to rain down death and destruction and communism on this Gneisenau. So we are actually penetrating pretty decently, but that's because we are pumping the shots into the superstructure. Again, these are 152 millimeter guns, so anything other than the superstructure or lightly armored targets like other cruisers and destroyers, we're not really going to penetrate well. There goes the Gneisenau to the south center. We are spotted, so we have to move forward before he sends shots out at us. It's a Gneisenau though, so the likelihood that he's going to hit the target is low, but never zero, so we are still going to take evasive maneuvers, and yeah, he did miss. We're spotted again, probably because we passed the dip in the island, but we are undetected again, so we're going to start teeing off on the Gneisenau. We have 5 fires in 65 shells hit so far, so that's another indicator that I am not running EOP. I am running fully packed. There's another fire. It's kind of a fire spammer. It is a fire spammer if you don't have EOP, because I'm not really earning sustained damage or stacked damage. All of this fire damage can be healed back. The only reason that makes fire damage so deadly is if your damage repair is under control, or you have multiple fires stacked. In that case, you are stacking the damage, and that's what makes fires deadly. So Gneisenau is trying to reverse. We're going to keep the shots coming down on him because the other Gneisenau is moving out of our firing range. Let's take a moment to assess what's going on the western flank. So most of the action that's happened is actually happening in the center and down this east flank. The west flank, we have teammates pushing up fairly unopposed. I think they have lost a cruiser. I'm not really sure which one. So all we have to do is hold them off until our team gets over here. Which should seem simple enough. They have 2 destroyers left, but I do have 1 charge of radar left. Assuming I don't fuck up and, use it for no reason like I did the first 2 charges, we should have a decent chance of spotting those destroyers. Assuming the Benson does not already. Although the Benson's health isn't looking too good, neither is the Gneisenau's, so... yeah, we'll see how this goes. So we're just teeing off on these battleships. Benson, I believe, is in his smoke screen, so I'm not getting too many spots. Also, they aren't really pushing, so I'm struggling to kind of get them in firing range. So we're going to push up with the Gneisenau and the Benson, see if we can't keep the damage coming out on these battleships. Leon kills the Fuso. Benson is coming under fire. Gneisenau is coming under fire. Gneisenau is going to duck in behind cover. Meanwhile, I'm going to send shots out to the Benson, see if I can't relieve this torpedo threat. So, you notice that I have been trying my best to utilize island cover. That is another thing that cruiser captains, especially light cruisers, that do not possess the necessary armor thresholds to bow tank certain caliber guns, usually 15-inch or higher. Benson goes down to the Normandy. That's the name of the game. You find a spot that allows you to rack up those DPM numbers and let your cruiser's guns do all the work, and you keep that spot until it no longer works. Maybe you get pushed by battleships, or you get flanked by destroyers or other cruisers. But that is the name of the game. Island cover and sustaining that DPM as long as you can. Because that's what cruisers are meant to do. They possess the highest DPM numbers out of the 3 classes, so that allows you to rack up those numbers. So I'm doing a fairly good job. I'm keeping the damage up, or I'm keeping the shots coming out. 119 target hits. The only thing that's hurting me is the fact that, well, not that Gneisenau's accuracy. That's not hurting me. What's hurting me is I do not have EOP. The fact that, yes, I am setting fires, but I'm not really penetrating their armor and doing that much stacked damage. That is what's hurting. If I had EOP, this battle may or may not have gone a lot differently. I would have arguably had a lot higher damage. There's a Gneisenau, and yep. Sorry for the coughing. I think I'm getting sick, maybe. I don't know. Allergies are messing with me lately. But the fact that there goes the Gneisenau, and oh look, I spotted something with my radar, but he's behind an island, so I can't shoot him either way. Okay. Alright, well that was 3 charges of radar. 2 of them failed to spot anything. 1 of them spotted something that I couldn't even see. We are going to throw our hydro up because there's Benson out here. He will have torpedoes out. I should have stayed behind this island a little longer, but the Leon and the Gneisenau to the west were pushing, and I didn't want to get overrun. I take a nasty hit from Gneisenau because, again, this thing has no armor. But if I can take the Benson out, which I do, I couldn't get the torpedoes off, unfortunately. I was trying to get a last-ditch effort torpedoes on the Gneisenau, maybe take him with me too as well, but I didn't have enough time. If I had another second, maybe it would have worked out. But if I had EOP, this battle may have gone differently, because I would have been penetrating the armor a lot more of those battleships that I've been raining down on. Flint goes down to Leon. And maybe I would have been able to help relieve the Gneisenau and the Benson earlier of their threat down the center of the map. But yeah, so after this, I made the switch to EOP because I was just like, no, yes, having radar is good, but an extra charge of radar is not worth just not earning damage. So 84,000 damage, top of the leaderboard. No awards. Unfortunate. 12 fire set though, 1 kill. Not bad. I'm getting better, guys. But if you like the video and you like my content in general, or if you just like me and you think I'm a great person, because I am, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.